These stories keep cropping up more and more. Just the unhealthy hatred some Americans have towards white people. It really is sad. I don't want to really disparage this woman, but this one is it's mind-blowing. So let's take a look at this headline. Yale speaker says comment about killing white people was meant to spark deeper talk about race. This is basically her backtracking after she said just some horrific things about white people. I want to get to them right now, and then we'll discuss all of this. We'll discuss this woman who, unfortunately, these are the type of people who are speaking to young people at Harvard, at Yale, at these Ivy League schools, and really colleges across America. You wonder why so many young people skew to the left. They bring on speakers like this. And, that headline of her, she's trying to backtrack it. Let's see what she says here in the article. It says here she made the comments on her live stream April 6th. Problem of the white mind. It was billed as a way to contextualize the Karen and the right to not wear masks videos circulating on the internet. Now, this is the key part. She told her audience, which mainly I'm guessing are young college kids if you're speaking at Yale, about her own rage and that she, quote, had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any white person that got in my way, burying their body and wiping my bloody hands as I walked away, relatively guiltless, with a bounce in my step. Oh my goodness. When you see stuff like this, my first thought is it's sad. It really is sad to see this type of behavior and a woman on a college campus speaking like this is acceptable. And my first real thought isn't to say, oh, this woman's a racist and this is disgusting, which she is, and it is disgusting. My first thought is, how did our society get to the point where this woman, who I would guess is pretty smart if she's speaking at Yale, obviously she has some major, issues, but I'm sure she's a pretty smart woman. She's a doctor, MD, whatever. She thinks it's okay to talk like this, and then she tries to backstep it. The headline says here, was meant to spark a deeper talk about race. Lady, you cannot say stuff like that. I mean, that is a graphic description, and then you add, with a bounce in my step. I mean, guys, where are we at in our society if people go to college campuses and think they have the lack of self-awareness? I understand it's a big lack of self-awareness, but they still think it's okay to talk like this. Obviously, it's not. And people are like, what are you saying? So now she's trying to backtrack it and say, it was just meant to spark a deeper meaning about race. We're seeing this more and more. And guys, the thing is, I searched this woman on Google. It says here, look, it's permanently closed. Her office is permanently closed. Thank God. Let's take a look at this little headline here from a website. Her Manhattan office permanently closed after shoot whites. Yale talk. She was apparently bombarded with 1-star ratings. This is obvious. I don't know if this is the best way to handle people like this. You really just want to educate them. And you want, it's just like, I just want to know why she thinks it would be okay to say something like this on a college campus. I think it speaks to the bigger issue with America's society that this woman thinks she can go to a college campus, go to Yale, right, with a bunch of college kids, fill their brains up with anti-white stuff. And listen, I'm not offended by this at all. When people are racist against white people, I don't get offended by it. I do not get offended by it. It's bad. It's whatever. But I think it is very key that we call this woman a clear racist, because there is a narrative going around. And I'm not saying, white people are suppressed, things like that, but there's a narrative going around that you can only be racist against black people. You can be racist against anyone. And those comments that that woman made, she is a clear racist. That's just the reality of the situation. It's unfortunate. It's sad that stuff like this keeps happening. I remember a Chinese woman on Twitter who would routinely talk about wanting to kill white people, and it wasn't like she was joking. Now she got caught, and then she said, I was just joking, whatever. Twitter didn't ban her. I don't even think Twitter suspended her until there was a major outrage. I think her name was like Sarah Jung or whatever. She worked for some, one of those massively liberal sites. Not like a CNN, but a smaller variant, kind of leech off of CNN liberal site. And I think they kept her employed. Now, this woman, I'm not sure what's happening. Obviously, she gets bombarded with 1-star ratings. She closed her practice, thank God, and I don't think she will be speaking, let's hope not, at these college campuses. It says here in TikTok videos about how she was surprised by the medical school's action. She depicted the response as textbook white aggression. Oh my goodness. So she's still trying to defend herself. I mean, obviously, they're going to take some action against you. You can't be that graphic saying you want to... Any race. Obviously, any race. Good Lord, if you did it about any other race in this country, you would be... the liberals would want you publicly hung. If you did it with any minority. And we know there's a double standard. We understand that. Whites make up the majority of race in this country. So you got to be, you have to be careful around what you say with the minorities. But something like this... is quite alarming. And then her trying to backtrack and defend it, you need to go see a therapist. You really do at this point. It's just the lack of self-awareness. It's like, it also says she gave her own statement on the collective outrage against her, claiming that her words were taken out of context from the lecture to, quote, control the narrative. You really can't take those words out of context with how graphic she was. I have a bounce to my step as I go and shoot white people. That's what I dream of, students. All the Yale students. I want all the young people that are currently sitting here developing their political opinions to understand that not only do I want to shoot white people in the face, but I'll leave and have a bounce to my step after doing it. You can't take something like that out of context. That is disgusting. That is grotesque. We're seeing more and more of this. It's unhealthy hatred towards a certain race, but mainly towards white people. And again, guys, I'm not sitting here saying, whoa, poor white people, whatever. It's whatever. This stuff doesn't offend me. My first reaction when I see stuff like this, especially on a college campus, I cringe. And I'm really saddened that our society is at a point where a woman thinks she can go lecture at Yale and have quotes like that and expect to be taken seriously. So she goes to Yale, I'm guessing, and thinks she's going to be a hero for doing this. And they're going to be like, yes, we hate all white people. Like, what is she expecting? Like, it is so sad what this has become. Obviously, it's good to see the outrage and, she shut down her practice. Thank God. She needs to shut down everything and she needs to go see, some sort of help. She's supposed to be the mental help for people. She needs to go see some sort of mental help. She is a disgusting racist. I don't even like saying stuff like that. I just want to know why people think it's okay and why we currently have a society and a political climate that allows people to think that saying stuff like this would be okay. She went to Yale, again, probably thinking she was going to be a hit, right? You go to one of these college campuses, Ivy League school, heavily liberal, and you say stuff like this, and she probably thought she was going to be some sort of hero and start an uprising against the evil, disgusting, capitalist white people and the horrible racist Donald Trump and things like that, and it's just a lack of self-awareness. And again, the first reaction, we don't need, someone like me who I'm a white person, I read stuff like this, I'm not offended by it. I'm sad that somebody seriously has that much hate in their heart. That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. It's sad. And it really is unfortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this video. They keep getting more crazy. You see these different articles. They keep getting crazier. This woman, you know what? I'm guessing she probably, they probably want her back at Yale. I'm kidding. But after saying something like that, getting out to the media, getting out to the actual public, not just staying in that liberal Ivy League bubble. And I have a lot of respect for the Ivy League campuses. If you got a degree from there, that's phenomenal, whatever. But there is an Ivy League bubble where it's a bunch of liberal people, and the fact that these statements got out really killed this woman's career, as it should. You can't be talking like that and expect to continue to educate people on certain things. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.